morning, Coyotes. Today is Friday, March the 12th, 2021. I have our assistant principal, Mrs. Burnett, here, and Mr. Zanyartu, our counselor. And we are so happy to see you. We know that it's getting closer to our students coming back on campus, the ones who have chosen to come back in person. And I know some of you are still going to be in the virtual model, and that's okay too. We're ready to support you in any way we can. So let's begin today with our flag salute. So please stand. Right hand over your heart and ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we will get started today with our jokes. So if you still have jokes, keep sending them in. We plan to do Friday Flag all the way through the end of the year. So here we go.
What day of week are most twins born? Tuesday.
It is why is a math book always so stressed? Because it has so many problems.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he had no body to go with.
What did one hat say to the other? You stay here. I'll go ahead.
What are teachers' favorite candies? Dum-dums, Smarties, and Nerds.
What do you call a woodpecker with no beak? A headbanger.
What's 5,000 miles long and purple? 5,000 miles long and purple. The Great Wall of China.
What do you call a grizzly bear caught in a rain shower? A grizzly bear. And what is a magician's favorite candy bar? Twix. Hey Audrey.
What?
What do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know. What?
Ground beef. Bye. Have a nice day.
Those are great. All right. Got some funny kids here. Okay, Mrs. Burnett, I think we're ready to go for birthdays, and we'll get to see who's having a great week.
All right, sounds good. Hi, Coyotes. It's good to see everyone online, and we can't wait to see you next week. We have a good week of birthdays ahead. Turning 6 is Isaiah and Brennan. Turning 7, we have Levi, Aiden, Audrey, Daniel, and Hunter. Happy birthday. Turning 8, Malia and Serene. And turning 9 is Michael. Happy birthday to all of you. Turning 10 this week, we have Maisie, Graham, Madison, and Gianna. And turning 11, Dylan and Harley. Happy birthday to all of you. Have a great celebration.
Happy birthday, everyone. All right, Mr. Zanyartu, I know you're ready for Mindset of the Week.
All right, hi Coyotes, and as we talked about, we're about to make that final pivot into our learning models, and what I want you to do is I want you to watch once again that short video about how to thrive during this transition. Even though some of us have watched it with our teachers, it's got some great tips and for about having a positive mindset and behavior as you make this transition to school. So enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to this short video on returning to school through the hybrid model or the new virtual. So some of you might wonder, what is hybrid learning? Simply put, hybrid means a mixture. That means some students will remain virtual online, while other students will come to school in the morning and some in the afternoon. Because this is a mixture, that means that part of it will be online for everyone, including using Zoom or Teams and working asynchronously on those programs you're used to. There are many things that will be different when we return to school, but there will also be some things that will be the same too. For example, our hybrid students will be doing some of the learning here on campus, which is different from our virtual students who will continue to learn from home. All of us will be meeting in an online meeting on Mondays, which will actually be the same. Which brings us to our next topic, what will be the same about school? One thing that will never change is how much adults care about you. When you're in school, you'll be safe, you'll be loved, and you'll be cared about. Doesn't matter if you're on virtual or you are in person. Everyone will be following routine, even though it's a little bit different. and you will still be doing a lot of learning. Now let's talk about what could be different as we make the shift to hybrid learning. There are definitely some things that are different, some of which you might already know, and others that are new. For those of you who've been on campus, you've probably noticed that the drinking fountains are closed for your safety. You'll also notice that we have stickers all over campus as spots to help us with our physical distancing. For those of you who are coming into the classroom, you will also notice that the desks have now plastic dividers to keep us safe from germs. We will still have school every day from about 8 to 3 o'clock, but the difference is when you will be meeting with your teacher. Some of you will meet in the morning from 8:15 to 10:40, while others will meet in the afternoon from 12:25 until 2:50. As a reminder, Mondays are virtual for everyone, which means you get to see all your friends, and it doesn't matter if you are virtual and they are hybrid. It is so important to make sure that we are being kind to each other, and one day we'll be able to return to the wonderful times of high fives, fist bumps, and hugs. But for now, we can still express this just by doing it distantly, like by doing air hugs, by just saying hi, hello, and I miss you, and even doing an air high five. All of your teachers should have the physical distancing greeting poster, which should help you with great ideas on how we can say hi to each other. Since we were little, we've learned how important it is to share, and we can still share in this environment. It's just going to look a little bit differently. The things that we can't share are things like food or school supplies, but we can still share our feelings, our thoughts, and our stories. So share them with people that you trust. As we make this shift, things may change for you. For example, some of you might have a different teacher for the remainder of the year. And we know that having a new teacher can cause some strong feelings, and that's understandable. But the good news for you all is that all of our teachers here at Coal Canyon are wonderful, and they all care about you. For some of you, you might have some new classmates, whether it's on the computer or in person. And this is a great opportunity for you to meet new people and make new friends. Over the course of this year, we've done a lot of work in how to control those strong feelings. And we know these strong feelings can come out when things are uncomfortable. So if you find yourself having strong feelings, don't forget all of the things we did, including those 3 steps of stop, name your feeling, and then calm down, and then use a strategy like breathing, using that thinking brain, counting, and definitely using positive self-talk. You got this. You can do it. It's no big deal. Before we end this video, just some quick reminders. Don't forget when you come to school to bring your mask. Make sure you wash and sanitize your hands. And when we're with people, make sure that you are staying 6 feet apart so we can keep everyone safe. Remember, Coyotes, here at school, you are in a safe place. You are loved and cared for, and we'll do everything in our power to make school fun, interesting, and awesome.
Great message. Thank you. All right, it's that time of week where we get to talk about our Howley's Heroes. We're super proud of you. We want to remind you when you're coming back on campus next week to remember to be a hero, helpful, encouraging, respectful, and outstanding. We can't wait to see you. We know that it's going to look different, but you guys are going to do a great job. So here we go with Howley's Heroes. In Mrs. Amcroft's class, Michaela. Mrs. Jaime has Jalea and Anthony. And in Mrs. Mendez's class, Aubrey. First grade, Miss Espinoza's class, Bentley. And in Mrs. Gonzalez's class, there's Deacon. In Mrs. Cron's class, Daniel. For Mrs. Morad, Gregory. For Mrs. Murray, Stella. And for Mrs. Stringer, Philip. And for Mrs. Phillips, Peyton M. Going on to second grade, Mrs. Calvillo Murray is celebrating Leslie. Mrs. Garrity has Dagan. Mrs. Landers has Sonia, and Mrs. Manzella has Harper. Mrs. Pacey is celebrating Melissa. Mrs. Chase is celebrating Hunter, and Mrs. Lopez is celebrating Michael. And in third grade, Mrs. Hartley, Giovanni, and in Mrs. Hess's class, Danica. Mrs. Hewittson's class, Taya. In Mrs. Levin's class, Ava. In Mrs. Peterson's class, Ryder, and in Mrs. Tope's, Eden. Moving on to fourth grade, in Mrs. Gutt's class, Mason. Mr. Pacey has Tessa. Mrs. Schroeder has Vanson. Mrs. Smith has Chloe. Mrs. Trujillo's class is Taylor, and in Mrs. Vogel's class, Ruby. And in fifth grade, for Mrs. Beth Key, River. Mrs. Bryan is celebrating Kylie. In Mrs. Greenstein's class, Wesson. In Mrs. Hemrick's class, Devin. In Mrs. Maddox's room, Katerina. And last but not least, in Miss Mirande's class, Ashton. Congratulations, Coyotes. Great job this week. Super proud of you. Hey, and before we close out today, next week, we feel like this year has been kind of different, and I'm sure you will all agree. So we got a new bell system, and we don't want you to think that it isn't a bell. We have chosen something kind of fun this year, and it's the Peanuts theme. Every time, instead of hearing a bell that might be, a gong noise or a dinging noise or a ringing noise, we thought it'd be kind of fun to have a little bit of a song and to remind us to get to the next location, whether it's to walk to our teacher's class or to dismiss for the day. And so we wanted you to hear that sound, so we're going to let you listen to it right now. That's great, right? So it's just something a little bit different, and it's going to be fun for the remainder of the year, and we'll decide if it's a great bell to keep for next year or if we want to change it to something else. But we just thought it would be a new addition to a new kind of year. So great to see everyone online today. Hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.